Hey AfterBuzzers, it's your favorite after show, Botched. It is season 4, episode 9, and guess what? We're gonna meet the future Mrs. Dr. Paul Nassif. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Turn down for what?
Turn it down, ladies. Let's
It's
go.
like a club in here. Yeah.
We're definitely turning it down this episode. And speaking of turning up, we have the turned up nose, the turned down Barbie by Dr. Paul Nassif, and then the turned in stomach. So there's a lot of turn going on, which is why we felt that this song was very appropriate for the occasion. And also, I want to talk about the elephant in the room. It is Tuesday, not Sunday. And yes, we did move the after show. I wish we could have told you guys sooner, but we unfortunately did not find out till after the last after show. So we are here on a Tuesday, turning up. And I'm here with my beautiful co-host. And before we go into today's episode, I would love for them to go ahead and introduce themselves, starting with Anissa to my left.
Hi, this is so cool. I'm very excited that we're doing Tuesdays now because now I get to go to the gym on Sunday nights. So, so I don't have to get botched. So this is fun. I'm excited. So you guys can follow me at Anissa Barr with 3 R's at the end.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stacey Olivias. You guys can follow me all over social media at Stacey Olivias. And I'm so excited to be here, returning. I miss the show. I miss Sundays, too.
And I'm your host, Lina Noory. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Lina Noory. And I'm excited to be here any day of the week, Monday through Sunday. I'm here and I'm excited to be with you guys. But like I said, we are here now on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. So unfortunately, if you go looking for us on Sundays, you will not find us. So make sure you tune in on Tuesdays at 7. And we are so excited about today's episode. There's so much to talk about. Before we talk about the future Mrs. Dr. Paul Nassif, we are going to talk about Kelly. She has the turned up nose, and poor Kelly. I mean, she had her first encounter with a photographer at 16 years old. She's a beautiful girl, wanted to be a model. And the photographer told her that she should get a nose job. I mean, I don't know what kind of photographer would say something like that, but I guess through a series of bookings, she noticed that girls with smaller noses would actually get the job. So she decided to get a surgery. She's had 2 surgeries and then waited 17 years to meet with Dr. Paul Nassif. She had a piece of cartilage sticking out of her nostrils. And as you girls saw, it was kind of like you could literally look right into her nose.
Yeah.
So poor girl, if she had a booger or something, we'd definitely see it all. So she went back to the same doctor, and apparently during the procedure, he got called out of surgery for another patient, and she went into the bathroom with literally her entire skin peeled off and had a freak out moment, did not want to go back in. So she is traumatized with it 17 years, and she is here with Dr. Nassif. What do you girls think?
Okay, first of all, what in the hell is a photographer telling somebody you need to change the way you look?
No.
That is not okay. That is something that's where it starts, when you tell somebody to go do something and then they do this and then they're on Botched. That's how it starts. And I don't think that is really cool for somebody to do that. But she waited 17 years, and I want to know more information why she waited for 17 years, what took her that long. But then again, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And within 17 years, damn, her nose looks so good.
It looks amazing. So what was interesting, Stacey, tell me your thoughts on this. She said that she went to one of the top 100 doctors in New York, which she read in a magazine, and then Dr. Dubrow literally turns around and looks at her and says, well, of course, because he paid to advertise. Would you have gone on a magazine and seen top 100 and automatically assume this is a great doctor, I should go with them?
I think when you're not a doctor, yeah, most people would think, okay, it's a top 100 doctor, like top 100 doctor, and you would think that that was one of the best doctors. But if you're not a board certified doctor, you wouldn't know that. So it's so misleading, and I think it's so sad that a lot of people probably saw that and thought, oh, well, these are like the best doctors. But hearing what he said was great, like information and advice for people just to remember from this episode. Because I mean, if you see on an ad that this is the top doctor, kind of like you see those billboards on the freeway, it might not be true.
And I think it's crazy what people don't realize is this whole country is based on advertising.
Yeah.
Like even when you go on social media, you'll see all these makeup bloggers and beauty bloggers, and they're using all these products, and everybody literally goes and buys a product. Like you know, like they have that like beauty blender. They're like, oh, don't use it. Use this little spongy. It's like a gel pad, and people go run and buy it. Or like those pore cleansers. Like everyone goes and buys what they see on the internet, but they don't realize that those bloggers are getting paid to post those items. Like, is it an ad? Are you posting it because you like to use it? So that's what's so sad is she kind of like fell into that trap. And then we meet her fiance, Darnell. Darnell says that when he first saw her on their first date, it was actually a blind date, that he knew she was the one. Oh. And it's so sweet. I mean, what are your girls' thoughts on that? I really would like to know, do you guys believe that statement? Like when a guy actually says that, like when she walked in the room, like she was the one. Is that, like, do you girls believe that? Or you think it's just what someone conveniently says once they're getting married?
Yeah. Once someone gets married, it's like, you know, I took a class in college once, and my professor said it takes you about 2 minutes to actually think if that person's attractive or not, or less than 2 minutes. Like, I mean, 5 seconds. Sorry, 5 seconds to see if that person.
I was like, a guy's gonna take like 2 seconds. He's like 2 seconds done.
Yeah, it takes you about 5 seconds for you to see if you're attracted to that person or not. And with that being said, I'm pretty sure we've all heard that question. Oh my God, you have the most beautiful eyes in the world. I'm like, I have brown eyes. Everybody used to have brown eyes. Come on, okay?
I can see your soul through your eyes.
Yeah, I hope you say that when people say that to you. I hope you're just like,
I'm like,
everyone has brown eyes.
No, thanks. No, but Anissa, I can see it too. Like your big, beautiful brown eyes. They tell a story, and it touches me, honestly.
Oh really? Then give me a story.
Lena, you practiced these lines before.
Like,
you're really good at it.
I feel like you have such a big heart, and you want to wear it on your sleeve, but you don't, and you're guarded. I'm just kidding. I'm getting Dr. Felina.
How ironic, I do have a heart on my sleeve.
Do you really? Yeah. See? And I'm wearing red. You know what's funny? So this has nothing to do with Botched, but real quick, I do the famously single AfterShow and AFTERBUZZ 2, and I intro myself as Dr. Felina. So don't give me the mic for too long, because I'll start analyzing. But yeah.
I don't think you would fall in love with someone instantly. I definitely wouldn't. No. I don't know. That's just me. I look at character, and you only see character over a period of time. So I don't think that's really possible. I mean, guys are different, though. So, I mean, guys get attracted. They're more into, I don't know. Never mind. I don't want to go
let's hold our thought. Let's hold our thought on men, because I have an interesting question coming up when we talk about Tawny. So, speaking of Darnell says that it was actually his idea, and he tells the doctors that, you know, they're getting married, him and Kelly, and he wanted her to come and feel better about herself and get her nose done, because it's something that she's been scared to do for 17 years. And what I thought was interesting is it was his idea. Do you girls believe it was his idea for his fiancée, or he was doing it for himself?
Okay, so I thought you were going to say, do you think he did it because they're having the wedding coming up and the pictures and all that stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was for the wedding, obviously.
Right?
I would do it for the wedding.
Well, I'm biased on this one. Yes and no. Yes, because he's probably thinking, she's probably talking about this for as long as they've been together, and it's like, okay, now they probably have the money now to do it, so they said, let's go get it done. The wedding's coming up.
I don't think they pay on the show.
Really?
I don't think they pay. I think it's like an exchange for being on the show.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they for sure, I mean, I don't think they pay, but they for sure, I mean, I think it's just like their way of, it's like an exchange, pretty much. You're going to be on the show, and then in return, we're going to do the surgery for free, which I would definitely do. I mean, that's worth every penny. To do a $20,000 surgery for free.
I would too.
Yeah.
But I'm not botched.
But you have to understand, they're putting their insecurities out for the world to see.
Yeah.
I think it can help people too. I think it's great just to see that, and people can put themselves in their shoes and to see their life transform. And I believe that he actually just wants to see her happy. It just felt like that when I was watching him, and just the way he is. He seemed like he just wanted her to be happy, and maybe this was something. I mean, she even said she struggled with it for like 17 years. So he probably just wanted her
I
happy.
actually like Darnell. I'm usually sometimes skeptical of like the husbands and the boyfriends, but Darnell, I really like you. You're definitely her backbone, in the sense that he chose to be with her given her biggest insecurity. And I mean, it's a pretty obvious nose problem. Like, even the ones that are pointy and everything else, I definitely think by far that Kelly's nose is the worst, with like the huge opening. And it's kind of like that meme, you know, it's like, if you don't like me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. And now he gets to see Kelly and her best version, not just looks wise, but also you can see like her beauty shining through her, like she's truly happy. So in the actual procedure, he took cartilage from her rib piece, took some pieces from her ear, which they normally do, and then this was a first, I guess they took like a piece kind of like where the temple is to put it together on the nose, because she was at like 100 and something degree angle before, and then brought it down to like a 95 degree angle where you don't see the nostrils coming out. And I want to know, A, what you girls thought of the final result, which was incredible, and B, would you girls have waited 17 years, to do this surgery?
Hell yeah, her nose looked so amazing. She looked like a different person. I didn't really, it was hard to recognize her for a second, and she looked gorgeous. I mean, she looked gorgeous before, but she looks gorgeous now, and I love their photos that they did, like the photos that they showed on the screen.
She looks stunning.
Yeah, it looked like those photos that the photographer took looked like an ad on a paper or like on a Hallmark card. It's gorgeous. But your second question was, if I had the money, if I didn't have the money, yeah, I would have to wait.
I mean, there's financing options. There's a lot of places that
but
you can do
sometimes you
financing.
just don't get approved.
That's true.
Yeah, so I'm very problem
She's
solver.
like, I've looked into that. I've done my research.
I make sure problem solving gets, put together. But I mean, in a way, yeah, I would wait 17 years.
That's like the focal point of your face. There's nothing more important to me than that. Yeah. I know someone might look down on that, but I'm just being honest.
Yeah, and as long as she's happy. And you could tell, like, after the final result, oh my God, the dramatic change after that, like, her nose just looked like a different nose.
Completely
she looked different. I mean, she's beautiful, but she looked a lot different, and she just looked happy. She was glowing. She just looked awesome. And I think she just waited because I think she was traumatized from the first surgery. Maybe she was like, at least I know what I'm going to get now. So I'm going to wait.
Did you guys see the clip of when they actually lifted the skin on her nose? Imagine you're like going to the bathroom, you really have to pee, and you look in the mirror and you look like a skeleton, like your nose is like missing.
What I'm confused is this was during surgery?
During surgery, he went
So why is there no person covering her mouth with the anesthesia?
There was nobody in there.
That's ridiculous, and that's not a doctor.
And she was under local anesthesia. She wasn't even under, like, she wasn't really under.
The stronger one. Yeah.
So sometimes there's nose jobs where you don't go fully under?
I don't think so. That's even what
That's
Dr. Nassif
weird.
said.
No, you have
that's
to. When I've gone surgery and stuff, the person was like, "I'm putting this on your face." I'm like, "Don't," because I felt like I was going to suffocate. And he's like, "No, this is my job. We're going to count down." And when I woke up,
You were gone at like 4 seconds.
I know it was 10 seconds because I kept talking. And he's like,
you were
okay,
fighting it.
He's probably like, this chick needs to like shut up.
Shut up!
Increase. I'm just kidding.
Right?
Take the damn anesthesia and shut up.
But like when you're in the procedure, there's so many doctors in there, nurses, people are writing stuff
Surgical
down,
techs,
checking-
everything.
Like
Even for liability reasons, I feel like, especially if it's a male doctor with a female, there has to be a nurse. I know at least for like gynecology and stuff, there's been so many lawsuits that I don't know if it's a legal thing or you just have to have a female, but if it's like a male doctor and a gynecologist, there has to be like a female nurse in the room.
Yeah,
like
because
whenever they're,
who knows what they're doing? Like that's,
I don't know though. I think some of them get away with it. I mean, I don't know by law if there has to be a female in there though.
I'm not saying it's by law. I'm saying like they do it to protect themselves.
Yeah, they do it
because the girl could just wake up and be like, "Oh, something's different," or "I feel like I woke up in the middle of surgery and the doctor was doing something."
Yeah,
so literally
protect yourself.
You do it to protect yourself. My thoughts is that is by far the best nose job after I've ever seen. So kudos to you,
Yay.
Dr. Nassif. The best before and after I have ever seen in terms of a nose job. And I was actually so excited because I feel like I'm getting sick of the same nose jobs. It's like, I get it. It's like, there's only so many things you can fix, but I'd seen so many nose jobs, so it was so refreshing to see something so different and so drastic. Like, she looked incredible.
she looked younger too.
She looked way younger. She looked way more confident. She was glowing. I don't think it's because she was pregnant. I think she was just glowing because she was happy. But kudos to you, Dr. Nassif. And that brings us to your future wife. The future, Dr. Paul Nassif. I'm not even going to describe anything about her. I just want to know your initial thoughts on her.
She reminded me of a Canadian Barbie.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah.
But what's the difference between the Canadian Barbie and the LA Barbie?
I don't know. She just kind of reminds me of like, oh my gosh, okay, remember like she kind of reminds me of like a broho.
What is it?
Remember with the girls who liked like are always wearing like skater, not a skater girl, but always wear like skater brands. And
Avril Lavigne?
No, it was like I
was like, I love Avril.
I have to like Google it to show you, but like the whole dirt bike thing, maybe it's like a California.
It's a SoCal
thing. Yeah, it's a SoCal thing.
Well, she said
inland
that
empire.
She said that she actually, so she's from Calgary, Canada, grew up as a tomboy, and then at 18 something happened where she started growing curves, and then all of a sudden decided she wanted to be a girl. She was wearing a pink dress in her intro, and then came into her interview or her meeting with the doctors in a pink tube top. She has a pink Hummer, a pink quad, and she has a pink gun.
Yeah.
My niece, who's by the way 8 years old, would be in heaven because this girl liked everything pink. I think her bikini was like pink and lime green.
It looked like watermelon.
What did you girls... Okay, I'm going to ask you, Stacey. I want to ask you first. So this is where we're going to go talking about boys again. She made a statement. She said, I want to go to LA because I am looking for love. Is LA not the last place you would go looking for love? What is she talking about?
I don't even want to find love here.
She bugged me. Sorry, I just don't think she's annoying kind of to me. But like, yeah, she just seems so like superficial, and that just bugged me. And just like all about the LA life and like trying to fit that mold, and it's not.
But she said she's looking for true love and she's coming to LA. That's ironic. Like it's very hard in this city.
Yeah, it's like
especially
New
when it's a
York.
melting pot.
Yeah.
You know, and like the age of like people wanting to actually settle down. I mean, I swear if you talk to people on like the East Coast, San Francisco, Texas, at least from my personal experiences, I'm not generalizing. I don't know about other people, but from people I know, the guys in there, you know, they're ready to settle down. Like they're starting to think about it in their 30s. LA, it's like
late 30s, early 40s. Who knows?
Yeah, you don't party until like you're Madonna's age. Like you still go. You don't like.
I mean, J-Lo, she's 50 and she's shaming
working
20-year-olds.
now.
She looks incredible. But aside, so she's basically looking for Dr. Paul Nassif, who is her one true love. She went as far as saying that she wants to run her fingers through his chest hair. I don't know how I felt about that. And then I guess she compared him to Richard Gere. So she thinks he looks like Richard Gere. She wants to run her fingers through his chest hair. And she thinks, like, this is it. Like, I'm going to be a doctor's wife.
I think that was her motive. Getting on the show was to say she wants her boobs bigger, but actually wanted to meet Dr. Dubrow. Nassif.
How are you? Okay, how as a woman are you already plotting? Like in your head, you've never met this guy, you don't know anything about him, you just know he's on a TV show and he's divorced. And she's like, hey, I'm gonna go all the way to LA to be on a TV show and pretend like I'm getting implants because I want to get married to this guy I don't know. How does she know he's not like a bad person?
That's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed for her.
And then she said she thinks she could be a good stepmother.
That crosses a line.
I don't know. Do you think that was real, or do you think she was just like playing?
I
Messing around?
don't know if she was even
TV.
interested in the doctor or she just wants to be on the show.
Yeah.
Or somebody told her to say stuff like that.
Here's my thing. I'm not saying that by any means Dr. Nassif isn't a good catch. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah.
Even though Dr. Dubrow was clowning on him and
he
like,
loves that.
oh, she needs to go back and get her eyes checked. But I didn't think it was genuine. I think like she was saying it either to just be on the show or because think about it, when you're going on the auditioning,
What do you have to say?
you have to say something like so off the wall to be like picked up on the show.
True.
So she like walks in and he totally rejected her. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like guys don't usually say no to anything. And he totally turned her down. Okay, before all you guys out there go crazy, I was just kidding. I'm sure guys say no to girls. But she's a cute girl. I thought she was actually pretty.
Is. Yeah, she's a pretty attractive woman, but
I mean, if she got rid of all the bows and the pink and stuff, I actually thought she was really pretty.
No, yeah. All right. But the thing is
She's like, I wouldn't go that far.
But the thing
she's
is
cute.
Yeah, the thing is though, I think like we've seen in the past how other women will go on to these doctors, but they keep it professional, and Dr. Nassif mentioned this before to another patient. He goes, "I'm trying to be professional here."
Yeah.
So I think that maybe crossed the line a little bit by her like trying to get on to him, be with him, but he's like, "Hey, I'm here to do my job.
This is my career."
Maybe this
that
was
I've
the
worked so hard
wrong
for.
way to get to me or talk to me, but there's a time and place."
So she came on as badass boobs, which we forgot to even mention because we just wanted to go right into it. Like there was nothing to even talk about because none of us, so we can all agree you don't think that she came to actually get her breasts done. Like, I don't believe that she came to make them any larger.
No, I don't think so because they looked fine to me.
So her first surgery was 450 cc, and then the second one was 900 cc's. And then Dr. Dubrow says, oh, but if you did the gummy bears, the largest is 800. And she was like, no, it's 900. He's like, no, it's 800. She's like, I'm going to go call my doctor. Like, how do you not know how many cc's were put into your breast? Or what if it's not even the gummy thing? What if it's like
The other
saline
one,
or like something like that? Like, how do you not even know that? But actually, I thought her breasts looked great. I don't think there's too much of a gap.
No.
But he had basically said that if she went any larger, the nipples would start turning out, which
You got like this.
I don't know. Do you think he just said that to say it too?
I mean, then again, he's a doctor, so we don't know in a way. Like, it could possibly... I mean, they even say your nose could fall off so many times, or your nipple could fall off so many times. So it could possibly that they could go 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock.
Apparently, your nipple can die.
But that's
Literally.
that's why there was such a huge gap. They said is because her skin was so tight when they put in the implant.
Yeah, she's
so maybe
petite.
she didn't have enough skin.
And
to
like
go
he
from
also
there.
mentioned the ribs, like in the chest of the ribs, how far apart they were.
Oh, and her rib was like protruding. Huh?
Yeah, it was like up.
Or
it was weird.
out,
Yeah, it was
or
different.
something.
Speaking of ribs, I don't
Chest.
want to go back to Kelly because we're now on Tawny or finishing off Tawny. Did you notice that Dr. Nassif, when he was opening up a rib, he goes, wow, that's a nice set of ribs. Isn't that weird? Like, how is that like a nice set of ribs? Like, what does that mean? Like, what are you at like a ribs place and you're like, oh, that's a nice stack of ribs? Like, he just, wasn't that, did you guys catch that?
No, but maybe he was hungry. I don't know.
I'm like, what does a rib look like? Is it because it's like evenly aligned? Whatever.
Maybe.
Anyway, so we are going
That's
on
funny.
to Tummy Trouble, which is Christina, that poor woman. So Christina is a mother of 4, and like a lot of women do, she gained a significant amount of weight. She went up to 192 pounds. And then as a result, she also had a very high cholesterol. You said it was 251, which is really high. You know, you run the risk of a heart attack and many other problems. But, you know, we've actually seen moms like this before. And I think it's something that people kind of don't really talk about a lot is what women go through to actually have a child. Like, they go through so much. They go through body changes and weight changes. And it's really not something that I feel like is recognized enough that we put ourselves through that to bring, like, life into this world. And, you know, she was just one of those cases where she had 4 boys. They're gorgeous boys, by the way. Her boys were so cute. Back to back, went up to 192 pounds, like I said. She said that she supposedly, and I mean supposedly because I find it hard to believe that she was doing an all-shake diet and only lost 3 to 4 pounds in 1 month. I don't believe that. What do you girls think? I don't think that in 1 month of doing consistent, not shakes where you're... Because a lot of people do those juice cleanses and you just lose the weight and end up gaining it right back. Were you just consistently doing shakes and were you also eating proper, you know, small meals in between? Or were you binging at night when nobody was looking? Like, I don't know how you only lose... Unless she has a thyroid problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Sometimes people have those issues. So wait, she said that she was only drinking shakes and that's all she was doing, and that was her diet.
Well, I mean, she said she proclaimed it was a shake diet.
So shake
So
diet,
I would assume,
shake and food.
like, she didn't say I was replacing some
could
meals with
be.
a shake. She
Yeah.
said I'm on a shake diet, and I've done that myself. I do
Right.
meal replacement shakes. They're very healthy for you. It's a combination of like chia seeds, flax seeds, all the greens, all the proteins, and just in the fact that you're cleaning out your system, especially if she wasn't eating anything else and not any like processed food or carbs, there's no way she didn't lose weight. And I feel like if she had a thyroid problem, she would have known because she checked her cholesterol. And when you check your cholesterol, you check your thyroid in the blood as well. Because I also have, I'm not gonna get into that. But anyways, so yeah, like I said, so you girls don't,
No.
I don't believe.
I
either.
mean, I have a family member who has thyroid, and they still work out. They make sure they're healthy and everything like that. And I don't believe it, because if you're on a strict diet like that, then you would obviously check how many calories you're eating. She does go to yoga, so that's good.
she goes to yoga now, though. I believe.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah, or at
Then-
least
then
that's
that-
they didn't tell
yeah.
us.
And then the exercise, but she also said that her hip kept hurting her by you know, playing with her boys. So maybe she wasn't exercising then. Just maybe cleansing.
There's no way if you were exercising and doing meal replacement shakes that you only lost 3 or 4 pounds in a month. There's
Yeah.
no way humanly possible.
No.
Like, because the way digestion works is like, even if you have carbs in your body from previous meals, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's like 21 days for your body to break down like processed rice or carbs or grains. So in 21 days, anything she'd eaten in the past was completely out of her system. So if you're just doing shakes and you're obviously there's no such thing as a shake with processed foods unless you're doing the shake wrong, which could have happened. There's no way, like her tummy should have been dropping weight.
Yeah, fast.
And maybe she might have had a delayed response, but there's no way she went a full month unless she's exaggerating. But anywho, back to her process. So she wanted lipo of the stomach and the flanks on her side, and she wanted a tummy tuck. The doctor told her to do the tummy tuck before she loses the weight, which Dr. Dubrow was like, "Como? Like, what do you mean?"
Right.
Because what are you tucking if there's no excess skin? She ended up sneezing and heard a pop, like right in the middle of where her ribs are, and there's a huge lump and a dent. And yeah, so now she comes into Dr. Dubrow to help her. Dr. Dubrow turns to his mentor, who is, let me pull up the Dr. Lesavoy. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name. So Dr. Lesavoy walks in, veteran doctor. He calls him the Renaissance doctor, which I love the fact that he was giving, like, you know, that kind of respect to him.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will say, like, oh, I'd rather go to a new, younger doctor that has all these, like, better procedures and better medical, you know, stuff. And he was giving him props for the fact that he is old school. Everything he learned from him, all of his complicated surgeries. He walked in with those fabulous brown cowboy boots. What did you girls think about Dr. Lesavoy?
I thought that was a really awesome idea, the fact that he did that, because now we see not only something that we learn about more about Dr. Dubrow and his past, where he came from, how, like, who trained him, and then also this doctor where he brought in, and other people could go to him too, you know, if they want to. And the fact that he was his mentor, damn.
I think it was cool that they brought a new twist to this episode, because they've never done anything like this before. Mm-hmm. So it was cool hearing about Dr. Dubrow back in med school and how he was and how...
I like how he was like joking about him. He was like, "You kept bugging me." Like,
no, and it's cool because we always see the side of the doctors where they're always obviously joking around with each other, but we do see them kind of a little bit more on the arrogant side, or very confident. I wouldn't use the word arrogant. They're very confident, and as they should be. They're incredible doctors. I mean, we've seen 4 seasons of incredible before and afters, especially, I mean, the first one with the nose job was just, it blew my mind on this episode. And like I said, I was glad I saw something different. So it was very humbling to kind of see him admit that he learned everything he did from someone else.
Yeah.
So even in the surgery, he like looks over at him and he goes, you know, Dr. Lesavoy, he's like, "You're the best doctor." And he goes, "Well, if I learned from you, then that makes you the best of the best." And okay, so I have to talk about this moment.
Oh, yeah.
So we were watching the after show, and the 3 of us together could not believe the high five.
The handshake.
Oh, sorry. Was it a handshake or a high five?
I think it was a handshake.
It was a handshake. She's right.
Yeah.
They decided in the middle of all that yellow, nasty stuff on their hands and the blood and sewing her muscles together to shake hands. It was disgusting. Like, I get it. It's her own juices. It's not like he's touching someone else's blood and insides, but did you guys get disgusted like I did?
I was like, oh my God, I hope my doctor's never done that, because you're supposed to elbow each other.
But then what if, like, when you elbow, like, a piece of your hair, like, your skin falls into the inside?
Oh, I've heard some crazy stories about surgery, so that does not shock me. I've heard they're all, like, listening to hip hop. Like, it's fun. Yeah. It's not, I mean, they have some of these people, they have, like, 12-hour surgeries. They have, like, and they're so used to it. So I don't think it's anything shocking.
Yeah, but then I hope and I expect them to change their gloves.
I mean, I guess, like, what you see,
me.
It's like what you don't see can't hurt you, but then the whole world is seeing it. I don't know. I just thought it was weird.
Yeah.
I get it. It's still, like, her juices. It's not, like, mixing in. I can't imagine it, like, contaminating anything. It was just weird. They're, like, doing a handshake with, like, blood over, like, it's one thing when, like, the stuff's, like, splattering on their glasses. Like, you can't control, like, bodily functions when you're in there nipping and tucking, but shaking hands, ugh.
It was just
like, if that
weird.
Was me and I saw that, ugh.
It's like if you're going to a store or a restaurant and the person's making food in front of you and you do this and this and this and they don't change their gloves. It's a little weird.
I think a lot of people.
I don't think Stacey agrees with this. You don't think it's weird?
No, I mean, I have people that are close to me that are doctors, and I've heard some. I mean, it's not as serious as people think it's going to be. Like, I'm coming here, and they do it every day. It's like your job's every day, you know. Like, it's gonna get a little bit. You're gonna get a little bit more relaxed.
I get
So
it. Listen, like I said, they're excellent doctors.
shot.
To me, I just thought it was like,
Yeah.
I mean, hey guys, let's
the
just
blood.
shake hands in the middle of an open body
Mixy.
with like stitches everywhere and blood everywhere. I don't know. So yeah, I definitely liked it because the after was incredible. He had removed all the excess skin. There was a lot of scar tissue and stuff like that he had to move out as well because obviously it prolongs healing if there's previous scar tissue. So she looked amazing. I still didn't get a grasp of the full stitching. I wish they kind of went a little bit more into detail. Did you guys kind of grasp the whole like stitching of the muscles thing?
They didn't really show a lot.
Like, how do you?
No, it was this. I felt like this scene right here was quick, and then all of a sudden she's like, walking to her kids and her family. It was very quick.
Like, how do you stitch a muscle? Like, what if you do like a sit up and like you're doing a sit up and like you're, I don't know. I thought it was weird, but anyway, she looked incredible. As you guys saw, she came to the picnic. Her waist was curvy. She looked unbelievable. Like she had that curvy waist, excellent body. And like we've talked about before, she was so happy and you can see it shining from the inside. And it's so beautiful when you get to a point in life where you're just so happy and content with yourself that your beauty just shines from the inside. It was really great. What did you guys think before we close off about the final?
Well, my final thought on this one was I thought you had to gain weight in order to do a tummy tuck so they could take all the fat out. I didn't know you had to lose weight. That's something I think.
Well, yeah, because you have to pull the skin down.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm curious how they create these new belly buttons because if you guys saw the before and the after, they create belly buttons during tummy tucks. That's so amazing to me. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so that wraps season 4, episode 9. And before we close out, I want to go ahead and have my beautiful co-host once again let you know where you can stalk them on social media. Feel free to stalk them. Follow them on Instagram, follow them on Twitter, follow them wherever you want. Follow them home if you want.
Please
go ahead and
tweet us with questions. Any questions you guys have. Oh, you guys.
They're just going to look at each other.
Yeah. I'm Stacey Olivias. You guys can find me all over social media at Stacey Olivias.
And my name is Anissa Barr. You can find me at Anissa Barr with 3 R's at the end. But please don't follow my friends on social media. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I guess we'll talk about that next episode. And I'm your host, Lina Noory. This is the Botched After Show. Tune in next week for episode 10. We've got more nose jobs. Apparently more breast surgeries, but guess what? We have an Ivanka Trump wannabe. So for all you Trump lovers or non-lovers out there, definitely tune in because I can't wait to see the girl who wants to be the first daughter. Stay tuned, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.